GM. Hey, it's Kent Philly here with the StakeRocketPool team. Wanted to quickly highlight, as of today, Thursday, August 24th, what is going on in the Rocket Pool DeFi community. There's an important announcement regarding a balancer pool. Migrations are required. The good news is that most of the community has already taken action, and this is hopefully going to be a regular show moving forward, led by university, awesome individuals joining the community. But to get started, here we go. So feel free to visit rpldefi.com to find this, or use tinyurl.com/rpldefi. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. As a lot of people know, Rocket Pool's liquid staking token, rETH, so it's a little r, capital ETH, is the second largest liquid staking token by protocol perspective. Now, Lido is the largest, but they are centralized, and the security you get by having rETH is a competitive advantage, which has seen the demand for rETH increase over the last week. Now, let me expand my screen a bit here and go over the highlights that we have. So this is updated every 2 weeks by the Rocket Pool community. And the good news is that anyone who is holding rETH in their wallet has made 4.033% APR on a rolling 30-day basis in Ethereum Gwei. We consider this a low risk from a community perspective. You can see the stats yourself here in the Dune Analytics dashboard. So here is the trailing 30-month. We can see that rETH is at 4.033, and the good news is, looking here, rETH is over that post merge, and so that's exciting to see. The amount of Ethereum rewards for staking have increased. So before we get to the vulnerability, let's go to more of the exciting stuff, since most of the vulnerability has been addressed. We can see that providing rETH and wrapped.eth on top of Gamma is providing a 8.22% rate of return. Oh, it's 8.25 now. And that is broken down in RPL incentives. So shout out to the Rocket Pool community for being able to ask to have this pool strategy funded. And what this is ensuring that there's enough liquidity between the rETH tokens, that's staked ETH by Rocket Pool, along with wrapped.eth, the most common form of Ethereum used in DeFi. So in an exchange in this example. And we can see that the annualized rate of return for RPL is 6.12%. And then the rETH rewards are currently at 2.13%. And they're saying this is totaling up to 8.25%. So this is not financial advice. This is just going over current market rates. Do your own research and seek professional advice where you like. Do your own research is one of my favorite acronyms, and that is how everyone has to figure out what's best for them. So once again, this is not financial advice. Moving on, Pancake Swap, pardon me, has some pretty redonkulous rewards right now. Okay, it's gone down from 1,000%, okay, to 89%. That looks more realistic. So that will be updated. But this high rate of return has been based on all the volatility in the market for the number of individuals with high demand for rETH, or even trading some of their rETH for other new tokens when they're even so restaking has come out recently, and you are not necessarily swapping your rETH with wrapped.eth in that case, but there's just been an increased demand for rETH, and that to me is probably one of the biggest drivers for this high short-term rate of return at 89%. And next on the list, we have, Beethoven, and that's paying between 4.3% and 9%. And so that's when, on top of optimism, shout out to the L2s out there. Now, the important one we need to get to today is Balancer, and that is a combination pool that we'll get to right here. And this pool is rETH mixed, so 50-50 rETH as well as ETH, and some of it is in Aave, and this is all happening on top of Arbitrum, the most popular DeFi layer 2 on Ethereum at one point in 2023. Now, we are reloading the page again to see the details. So this is the rETH boosted Aave V3 wrapped ETH pool. And, there are no more fees being generated by this pool. The only thing to do is to exit. And so you can read more about the vulnerability here. It's provided in a link, but you can see that now there is only, we have $120,000 in total liquidity when previously there was, up to, oh, that's the volume. Let's see. Yeah, at one point it was close to 4.5 million. So this was a very common strategy in DeFi. And then immediately once the vulnerability was announced, we can see that, most DeFi participants here took their money out and were able to migrate. So here is the migrate link. All this is provided in the guide. And once again, we are highlighting that it is important for anyone left to migrate their liquidity. This is a high risk opportunity in DeFi today, and we're hoping that no one gets rugged. So you can see that migrated liquidity for those individuals who have, it does have a medium low risk due to the setup. You can go further into the details and determine your own risk assessments. But the idea here is that this is not a run on the bank. This is simply an upgrade in the code due to a vulnerability that was found. Now, getting back to the exciting stuff, we can see that on Polygon's ZK EVM, which is implementing, privacy and zero knowledge proofs that make things faster, is paying at 10.14%. So that's quite exciting. Let's see if I can pop that up right here. And we can. And so we can see that there are rewards being paid out in Balancer as well as USDC. That's pretty exciting, getting paid 7.25% a year in USDC. Now, these rates do change because of the amount of volume that comes through is inconsistent. But this is, something compelling that currently has about $1.5 million locked up. So then going on to some of the more higher risk opportunities, we have RPL paired up with rETH, and that's paying 3.76% to 7.66%, depending on the amount of Balancer rewards. And then last but not least, highlighted, we have the rETH Badger pair, and this is kind of one of the best heavyweight pools. Those who aren't aware, Badger is a OG Bitcoin community that was able to find a way to bridge more Bitcoin onto Ethereum. So Badger tokens are essence like Bitcoin, and that is at a very high level. My viewpoint, I haven't dove into their tokenomics in a long time, but what you can see here is some individuals who currently have, good amount, 14 million, almost 15 million locked up, and they're just going long staked ETH and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on Ethereum. And this right now is paying out 9.23% to 21.42%. So those are primarily in, Balancer rewards, but you're also getting, a small amount of swap fees. You can see that there's not much in the swap fees, which means most people are just doing a set and forget here and probably collecting those juicy Balancer rewards. So most people overcomplicate things in DeFi. And so the goal is that you do your own research, you figure out what's best for you. Let us know if you have any feedback. This guide here is just community driven and gives a lot of different examples on how staked ETH through Rocket Pool can be used in DeFi, or even the RPL token can be leveraged. There's exciting times ahead for Ethereum LS DeFi is what it's being called.